Tape marker, action. What is going on, Alamo City Movie Talk fans? I'm Ryan D, aka Ryan680.
Hello, guys. This is Lex, back at it again.
What's going on, Lex? How you doing over there, brother?
I'm doing good, man. Having a pretty good day. It was for those that don't know, today was originally going to be my last day at Hulu, but it's basically delayed until Saturday. But it's still kind of good, like walking into my last week, and just remembering like all the good times at Hulu, like hanging out with my peers. It was pretty busy at work, so it's probably like oh, Lex is leaving, but all right, let's
give it to him. Give it to him.
So that was funny, but once again, it's a super exciting stage in my life. But at the same time, I'm still keeping up with the shows and everything. And there's a few shows that I really want to watch coming up, but WandaVision just has all my attention right now, man.
For real, guys. We're gonna be talking about Wandavision, and that we got a little bit of a setup here. We're changing things up a little bit, so we're actually Wandavision we're gonna leave last, and then we're gonna talk about spoilers at the very end, ladies and gentlemen, moviegoers out there. So stay tuned for that. But let's talk about this Justice League, really clip, I guess we could call it. I mean, it came out.
It's like I don't even want to call it a teaser because it's not a trailer, but it's
let's call it a clip. Let's just call it what it is. I mean, it's just like a clip, and we'll show it to you guys. Obviously, we cannot show any audio because it will get blocked. And if video does get blocked, I do apologize on that. But I mean, lesson learned. We will learn from the future from now on that, we'll show it to you guys and watch us to react. But if you hear us breathing or hear us go, go all crazy, it's just because how intense the trailer or the clip is. I keep calling it a trailer, but it's not. But if you guys have not seen it, because it came out 2 days ago and I have not seen it yet, Lex was informing me on this, and I was just like, what? I did not know this. I thought it was just still images that they released. And then when I looked it up another way, I was like, oh, it came right up. But all right, let's get right to it, guys. Hope y'all ready for this. Let's see. Let's check it out here. Yeah. Oh, wait, hang on.
Okay, yeah.
There it goes. Okay. All right. Dang. Is that Cyborg's hand? Oh, wow.
Yeah, I really like some of the visuals in here.
Yeah, man. Dude. Whoa, bat signal. Oh, was that Batman? Oh,
yeah.
No. Flash? Dang.
Like how there's like some clocks and stuff behind them.
Yeah. Aquaman.
Yeah, this one's dope. That one could be like a collection, like a collector.
Yeah, dude. It's gonna be like a figure, where it has all of it in one mother box.
That would be cool.
Dude, I would buy that. All right. Dang. Dude, oh man, bruh, dude. That's awesome right there.
With the hole in his chest.
Yeah.
Then
Dang.
Last but not least.
Yep. Wonder Woman. The Amazon. Yeah. Our video's still up, so yeah. All right. Okay. Dang. All right, so March, obviously, that's coming up. I mean, dude, that feels like it's literally right around the corner. Yeah, it really is. And I just, I mean, this glimpse that we got into this, this huge this clip is just has a lot going on, a lot of graphic, a lot of visual effects here that it's really detailed and to the bone, I would say. And I just, everyone's really excited for this. I am too as well, to see a different Justice League movie. And again, though, I'm going with an open mind. I'm not going in with the bad taste that Josh Whedon left us. But it's just like, you got to go in just like, hey, this is a new film. That runtime, though, have you heard rumors of the runtime? I've been seeing it all over Twitter.
It's confirmed that it's 4 hours. Yeah.
4 hours. Okay. I was like, damn, bro.
It's
dude, that's a little, yeah.
And
I mean, are they releasing it all in one? Because I've heard, they are. Okay.
So at first, the plan, even like straight from Zack Snyder, he had said that it was still up in the air whether it was going to be like a whole 4-hour theatrical release. Initially, the strongest candidate was going to be that it was going to be a 4-part series, so 4 1-hour like episodes.
Yeah, I heard that one.
And that was true. They were going to go in that direction, and then Zack Snyder said they would do that on a weekly basis, plus then releasing the full thing altogether. But what I heard is they ultimately lock it in, like they confirmed it's 4 hours, single thing. But some people thought like, oh, that's just what Zack wanted. But no, in reality, what happens is that it was apparently a lot harder to negotiate contracts with the actors when it came to like series or like episodic release, as opposed to like a movie like release, like a single 4-hour thing. So rather than having to renegotiate contracts and stuff like that to fit it into the 4-part series, they decided to just release it as a single movie. So it just made sense from a contract standpoint.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie though, that's a freaking hell. Jeez Louise, that's a huge movie. That's a huge, obviously a huge jump from the original, I guess theoretical release of this film. I also saw that they're actually going to release it in black and white, so that's going to be very different too.
Yeah, that'll be later, I think, right?
Yeah, that'll be later. Okay. Yeah, that's not going to be March 18th, obviously. But it's just, man, I'm. You know how I am about the DC right now and everything that's going on. And then obviously we rumors have been going around that Amber Heard got fired, but that's like a whole totally different, beyond the movie industry, I would say.
Yeah. I'm not trusting those rumors though.
Yeah.
Though I'm on the camp of, perhaps they should be looking at recasting or just having another role like that. That's the camp that I personally stand with. I don't think the rumors are real, especially because they're also tied to the fact that they're saying that Emilia Clarke is replacing her. But I found that other news outlets are sharing that based on a single story from a single source, and it's an article from Forbes from an author that doesn't cover the movie industry. He does like real estate articles, and so he wrote an article about Emilia Clarke selling her house, and then he included that she signed for Aquaman 2, but no one knows where he got the sources. So people are saying not to trust it. Like I see people sharing it, and I don't want to be that guy that comments like, "Hey, I don't think this is true."
It's true. Yeah.
Leave it alone, but I mean, I'm pretty sure it's not true. But once again, that's what people are basing the fact that Amber Heard got fired. So I just wouldn't trust it. When you look back at the source, it's just a single outlet and then being spread by other outlets. So I never usually trust those. And I don't know, Forbes is not like the it's not the place where you would typically get like your comic book movie stuff. So I don't know.
No, I hear you, brother. I hear you. So I mean, here's the thing. So it just obviously we're getting the Snyder cut. It's coming out March 18th. That's facts right there, of course. Now everyone's saying like, oh, what if it does so well that are like, because I mean, it's going to get, let's just say it ups to subscribers, like almost 1 million subscribers that day because of the Snyder cut, for whatever the case may be. Leading up to that, there's evidence showing that people wanted this, right? Obviously. So say that does happen. Do you see Warner Brothers even saying, hey, we're going to continue that saga? We're going to continue it because Warner Brothers came out and said it. They said, no, this is one and done. That's it. We're just doing it for the fans. That's it. It's done.
I was hoping, and I've said this episode, I was hoping that though it's not the plan, if it does really good, perhaps they'll look into it. I'm getting closer and closer to just realizing that it's not, especially with the recent news that a reboot for Superman is being considered. with J.J. Abrams as producer, and
yeah.
so like,
what do you think about that? Go ahead, touch up on just yes or no. Just go ahead and touch up on that.
I don't like that they're moving away from Henry Cavill. I really like him as Superman. I feel really bad of like the movies that Henry has been in, like they just haven't lived up to the Superman potential, in my opinion. I actually really liked Man of Steel, but that was the making of Superman, not like a Superman movie. So I think he deserved like a dedicated Superman film. In my head, I've always had like a story that I would love for them to touch up on, but it's just all kind of like wishful thinking at this point. But yeah, so the recent this one's more credible. It's more credible that James is on for producer, because that has actually been a rumor for a while. But yeah, they're apparently going to go ahead and explore an African American actor or lead for Superman. And though the comic books touch up on a character from another world who's a Superman, and he's a black Superman, I would want them to explore that story, but I would have liked for them to do that in an environment where the Superman world is established, and then you're touching up on a different Earth's Superman at that point. Not for it to kind of like take place instead of Superman. So like I'm a little bummed about that, but at this point, I'm a fan of the character enough to where take anything.
Dude, you said it. Yeah, you said it so politely. I'm gonna say that there. I'm gonna go on a little rant real quick. Just a little kind of angry rant. First off, why the hell are you replacing Henry Cavill? Like, what is in the right mind? Who, like, it just almost to a sense to where, like, why are you getting J.J. Abrams to begin with? I mean, look at it. It's just one of those things to where, like, okay, he's done. Let's bring the facts here real quick. He has done good reboots. Okay, let's just say Star Wars: Force Awakens, Star Trek: The Original. But like after that, besides that, just like you get to the sense to where, is he really a good director? I mean, there's some things where he's really good at, and some situations. But why are you going to get someone? I'd rather have gotten someone fresh director than I would have gotten because they got a writer that has only a small little documentary, and that's it. Like, why are you getting a writer that doesn't have a resume? What's going on over there? Like, it just and here's another situation here too is that I know I talked about off thing is that like the movie world's getting a little political, man. It's getting a little political, little by little. And it's really affecting the movie industry, fans' reactions to situations like this. But why? I mean, I'm not saying Michael B. Jordan's not a good actor. He is. He really is. But he's not good for this role. Like,
he's not.
I don't want him to be Superman. You know what I want him to be? I want him to be someone different. He could have been the Flash. He probably would have been better as the Flash than Ezra Miller. But it's just like I want to see someone different. Like I don't want to see Michael B. Jordan doesn't have. He doesn't. I mean, it's just of course the features. It's like, oh, let's put me in for Superman. I'm not even that tall. I'm like, it doesn't work. It doesn't really necessarily work for that situation.
Michael B. Jordan's not cast. It's a rumor.
Yeah, it's a rumor. Yeah,
they've been meeting, but I mean, my assumption is that they would be I don't think they'd be going for Clark Kent's version. It would be I forget the name of that Superman, but I think he's from Earth.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I forget the name of the Earth. I think 32, something like that. But still, like for me personally, it's more about can you introduce? I mean, you can, but can you introduce a Superman who's not the traditional Superman in a world where that Superman couldn't be established, or they didn't pull the right resources to establish that character? I think that's what's hard. So if the formula is like, okay, you know what, the traditional Superman didn't work, let's try just another take altogether. I respect that, but at the same time, if it didn't work last time, like, are you just going to ruin another iteration of Superman, like by not having the right resources put together? And
Yeah.
J.J. Abrams is going to produce. He's not going to direct. They haven't announced a director. This is very early in development. I don't think they have a script yet. But as a producer, there's the potential. I think I like JJ being involved as long as he commits, right? Like you said, he started franchises, but then he kind of bails.
Yeah. Talk about bailing, yeah.
So that won't be good on a character as big as Superman.
I just don't want JJ. Like, dude, you could have gone someone like anybody. Like, it's just like, why? What? I mean, obviously because of the bad robot deal that they made with them, but this was like a while back. This was like probably about a year ago. They made a deal. Bad Robot, his production company, actually made a deal with Warner Brothers that they're going to be in partners now. So I don't know if that's because, hey, JJ, since you're going to be in production with us, we already bought you out. How about you do DC?
Well, that was the whole time. They got him because he wanted, or they wanted him on board of the DC. The word is that they wanted him to be the Kevin Feige for the DC universe, but apparently he didn't want that role either. But
so exactly, why are you gonna?
He's picking projects. So he's producing the Green Lantern HBO Max series, and then he'd be producing this one. As a producer, if they get a good director, I trust the project. The screenwriter concerns me a little bit because, like you said, he actually hasn't written any movies. He's a book author. He's done some Black Panther comic books. He's done a recent Captain America run, but the book writers, in my opinion, or even comic book writers, it doesn't always translate to movie writing. It's a different platform. It's a different, I don't even want to call it a level, because I think book is harder of a level, right? I mean, give or take. They're their own platforms. But it's just, I've seen comic book artists from the DC world been brought to TV series, and the writing's always not there. So
you can see that again.
To take on a movie,
writing is just it's dude, yeah, like it just comes in the obstacles, man.
I have to check out his work. I haven't, but at the same time, once again, just historically speaking, someone who is that one-dimensional into this one world, never written a movie, it's gonna be tough unless they surround him, with a writer's room full of other people that have. I don't know. I don't know how this is gonna do. Once again, I loved Henry. There's rumors that behind the scenes, like, he was either asking for too much money or whatever. But I'm like, I mean, he has a following, and he's coming up there to be a really great. He's right now. He's a good actor, and he's becoming a great actor as we speak. And I'm just like, give him his freaking movie. He deserves Man of Steel 2 or whatever you want. Superman 2. Call it Superman 2. Don't even call it. They don't, because they're so they were so against the Zack Snyder and all that, and granted, I've heard, like, he does have a few following, but let's be honest here, the majority did not like the approach that Zack was doing, because you know why? Because they cared about the money, they cared about the dollars, they cared about just the fact that fans didn't like it as much. Well, I mean,
it was very dark. It was very majority fans, I would say.
With the Batman v Superman, I think money-wise underperformed. Man of Steel did really well. Justice League, of course, underperformed tremendously.
BVS expected to do a lot better, because it's two icons. They're not even. Let's be honest here. Growing up, I mean, you really knew. And again, this is a point of opinion here. It's just, you knew Spider-Man, Superman, and Batman. Those were like the major ones growing up. The cartoons and all that. Of course, the X-Men, all that stuff. But it's not going into the main leads, of course, because we didn't have we had Christopher Reeves back in the day, and we were living in the early 2000s age of Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man. So we knew those three because that's what was on. That was the content we were watching, living, and that's the thing. It's just like, why? I really expected it to make a lot more than what it did.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, so I see the change in direction, but it's just like the universe. They're gonna try to explain it based on like, well, Henry could always come back as the multiverse, but it's like, I want them to have an organic reason for the multiverse, and not because like, we didn't want to make a movie with that actor anymore. They're just splitting their brands up. apart. And
they haven't even established. Okay, I hate to compare it, but they haven't even established. I hate to compare it. They haven't even established what Marvel has done. It's like, why are y'all already? Y'all want to the same catch up? Remember, BVS, guys, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, Marvel had 10 years to make. 10 years in the making, or the first Avengers. Would say the first Avengers movie, really. They had what four films, right? Those 4 films. Yeah, I think it was. It was 4, yeah. So 4 films, we'll say, and about roughly close to 2 hours, maybe a little bit longer each film. And Zach only had 2 movies to make it to catch up. That's what they gave him. They said, "Hey, we need you to come in." And Wonder Woman, I believe Wonder Woman came out after BVS because Wonder Woman is what introduced her. BVS was when we saw Wonder Woman for the first time. So it's just like, it was like they're doing reversed, which I kind of liked it, but then they backed out. They're like, oh crap, we screwed up. Like, it's just, they got afraid. And we saw that a lot in this. And it's just the struggle of just making a Justice League movie. And we knew the outcome out of that, of course, the theoretical release. But why are you going to multiverse? Why are you doing Flash Paradox? Focus on your main leads. Create a Dr. Fate, Black Adam that's coming out. Dr. Fate's coming out. Do your original stuff first, like your originals first films. Their origin stories. Sorry, I'm trying to go be real specific here. Do your origin stories first. Warner Brothers, what are y'all doing? Like, y'all need to focus more on that than go to multiverse. How Marvel's already established. We know who's who. And not do multiverse because DC's not ready yet. I don't feel that DC's ready, but they're gonna force it, and we're gonna hate it. And it just like we're gonna like some things, but then we're just like, oh, like why? But Lex, any final more thoughts, man, on this subject here? We're about to go into Wandavision, guys, so stay with us. Thanks everyone for watching.
I'm excited for the Snyder Cut. It's just, once again, with the recent news. It just seemed, I appreciate Warner Brothers and HBO and AT&T Media just for making the Snyder Cut happen, because that's going to be a big relief. Once again, even if it's not perfect, we're going to see at least a completed version of his vision, of Zack's vision. Complete version. I think what Zack's been through, like, he deserves it, right? Yeah. Like him or not, I think he deserves that. And so it's just sad that, like, let's say this is good. It's just sad that it seems like the decision's been made, that this is just, they just want to close that chapter and away, and then the franchises are split at that point. But
we'll see how fans really react to this, and we'll see how much, if it really does create revenue for HBO Max, because let's be honest here, that's what they're basing everything off of. Does it create revenue? And that's the fact of it. And they're not showing it in theaters. They're only show it, I believe, or they are they're showing in theaters, right? Select theaters or no?
No.
There's
right?
no theatrical. There you go.
The plan is that perhaps down the line they'll do a theatrical release for it.
It'll probably be minimum. It'll probably be like a month or something.
Yeah,
real minimum, because they don't want to be like, okay, this.
I mean, and at that point, people would have already seen it.
Yeah, exactly. So HBO Max, guys, we can't wait. March 18th. Lex. All right. I'm gonna try to get it, man. I'm gonna try to request it. I know it's a 4-hour film. I'm gonna start requesting it now. So hopefully, maybe if we get in early access, if I get you to commit to watching that ahead of time, we'll give our review and everything, and we'll release it the day of.
No, absolutely. I can watch it earlier.
Yeah. So it's just, but again, it's like 4 hours. Like, dude, we need like intermission.
I'll watch them anyway. So I'm
exactly.
Hours anyways. But let me know if you get it early. I'd love to check it out, and then we can get an early review.
For sure. Get a review on that exact day, and then we'll talk spoilers that weekend. Ooh, there you go. All right, planning ahead, brother. All right, so we're gonna be talking about WandaVision, ladies and gentlemen. We're not gonna mention spoilers yet because we're gonna give our take on this episode, but we're start talking about WandaVision. Hope y'all ready for this, guys. We've been. Oh, give us a thumbs up, everybody that's watching. Give us a thumbs up. Give us a little reaction, a heart reaction. Put it on the comments down below as well. We're going to be addressing the comments as well. What did you think of this episode? I mean,
dude, we finally have some answers, and I think that's one of the most exciting parts of it. There were some big moments, some really good, touching moments, in my opinion. I think just everything's coming into fruition. I think they set up the finale just well enough, But then I don't know. I feel like there's a lot still to come, and there's one episode left. So it's gonna be interesting how, if we get a resolution of sorts in a single episode that's left, with how much buildup there's been to this. But yeah, it was a great episode. Just one of my favorites. Just the acting was really great. Once again, the moments and kind of like the callbacks to a different time and to different feelings. It's all that we've talked about so far about WandaVision. Is I've said it that when Age of Ultron came around, Civil War, I saw Vision and Wanda together, and they had a relationship. Kind of came out of nowhere, in my opinion. Although I knew there's a callback to the comic, not like the Hulk and Black Widow, like that came out of nowhere, and there's also no basis for it.
Exactly. I mean, I would say they're one and the same. I would say out of that context.
Well, as far as how they came, like just Marvel just dropped it on you. I thought it was going to be more organic. The chemistry between them in those past movies, I never really bought it. Never did. But I just felt like it wasn't their fault. They weren't given moments in the script to play along with it. Yeah. But this show has expanded that, and now I believe it. I live for it. I like, I'm a fan of it. I follow it. I really like what these two characters have done in this period of 8 episodes. So it was really, really good.
For sure, man. This episode, it's called Previously On, I believe.
Previously On.
Yeah, Previously On, and I like that. I like these titles, man. These titles are really good. These titles, even for like The Mandalorian, like Disney's really good at these title names. Like I'm digging them, I'm loving them, because it really doesn't give you too much of what's going on, and that's good, because you don't want a title to really just be like, bam, oh, they're going here. Or like to talk about Tatooine, or like say the title's Tatooine and all that, just like, oh, great, just you kind of ruins a moment a little bit. Titles, they really do sometimes, not only trailers but titles do. But going straight into this, WandaVision, this first episode, we get the backstory.
That's how it starts off.
Yeah, that really starts off, and it's just we get into this. Really, I love that, because here's the funny thing. Me and my wife Angela were talking about it. We're all like, what's crazy about this series is that there's not really plot holes in here. Like, in a weird sense, there's it's like covering all the characters that are in there, the town. It's covering, this episode really covered a lot of behind the scenes of this show. It's like a show within a show of behind that scenes of that show. So it's like, what I'm saying? Like, it's Inception, it's just like...
Yeah, a lot of things were answered, like we said.
Exactly. And a lot of things we were right on, man. Yeah, we were right on in the misery and the emotions there. But again, so this episode, I felt like I didn't hit that emotional level that I wanted to, though. Gotcha. I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know, because I don't think Disney wants to do that dark, to talk about grief, and all. And I felt like the drama wasn't really there. In a sense, Elizabeth. It's not Elizabeth Olsen's fault, though. I feel like it was mainly how it was directed. I really enjoyed it, though. That's not to say I didn't enjoy it. I thought it was a really good episode, but again, it wasn't the drama that I really wanted. I wanted to really get more, a little bit. I don't say more dark, but just more. I don't want to say realistic either. Just, I don't know. It just felt very Disney orientated. I guess that's the best thing I could say, or more family orientated, which this is a family show. So, and I know I was talking to another couple, and she's a teacher, and she was telling me, he's like, yeah, my kids get to watch WandaVision before they even see me, or before they come to my classroom. They're all like, Miss, we won't tell you any spoilers or anything. And I was talking with her, I was like, what's funny is that show is actually a universal show that anyone can talk about. You know what I'm saying? That's why I love it. Yeah, that's why I love it, because it's a really good show anyone can talk about, because it's, it doesn't have any nudity. There's no like bad, like, oh crap, like you watch that, huh? You watch that without us. Like, it just parents, it's just, there's like, oh, you can watch it. And we did get a little dark in the beginning of this episode, but we'll talk spoilers at the very end. But yeah, I really enjoyed this episode. I enjoyed this story. I felt like the story was done very well written, I would say. But again, it was just, I'll go back to the drama. I feel like it wasn't executed the way I wanted it to be, but I wanted it to be more, just more grieving. But it was just a real quick, because it's, family oriented, and which I totally understand that because the audience is family, so they don't want to show stuff like that. Even though they showed Bambi's mother died, but it's cool, it's fine. Yeah, man. I mean, Elizabeth Olsen, to see her really come out in this role. I mean, I just seeing her as a little, or sorry, we're not going to spoilers yet, but seeing her as actually have character development as from a kid, we saw that here. That was done very well. Like, to see that character development, and of course, we still got a few little unanswered questions here, but we got one more episode after this, right?
Yeah, it's the finale.
And they're saying that the rumor has it, I know we've heard rumors in the past that the last 2 or the last 3 was going to be an hour long. There is saying this is going to be the longest episode, though. That's what I've been hearing. So again, whether it's a minute more or 2 minutes more, it's still going to be the longest episode. So I'm extremely excited to see this, to see all these actors, and just to see a closing chapter of this, really, of this magic story. And I mean, what did you think of this episode, brother?
Yeah, man. Overall, once again, I have to politely disagree with the drama aspect of things. Yeah. I didn't cry. I don't think they gave me like a tear jerker moment.
I wanted that. I wanted that.
If you were looking for that, then I get where you're coming from, because it didn't really get me there. For me, I just didn't know what to expect as far as like, oh, what do I want out of this show? It gave me what I wanted in terms of filling in these characters and once again making me feel the bond between Vision and Wanda even stronger, and they did that. So there's times where I do want to feel something. I felt it. It wasn't like overwhelming and things like that. So people that seek those experiences, I feel like perhaps is Disney, tempering or playing with a specific line, right? They don't want to be like too depressing or whatever it may be. But I still think, once again, this is one of the most mature stories that Marvel has shared with us, because it is a story about grief, and it's a story about not always getting a happy ending and having to live with that, right? So I think those are complicated themes, and themes that this show has been handling really well. While at the same time, once again, if we look at the source material, this is a comic book, 10 years ago, or perhaps even more, 10, 15 years ago, you wouldn't expect a mature story like this to be even addressed or touched up on. I personally think, the first taste that we got of that was Sam Raimi's Spider-Man, because it dealt with difficult themes, but it's such an epic way, right? I love Sam Raimi's Spider-Man, but once again, I think at that point it was almost like a one. Well, I don't want to say a one and done, because they did 3 movies, but it was almost like once every 10 years type of thing. And then now comic books is where storytellers are wanting to go to work and be a part of. It's where actors want to be in now. So just the talent pool that these shows and these stories based on comic books are putting together, this is the outcome. The outcome is a compelling story that, once again, improves the characters that you already know from the comic books or from the Marvel or the MCU, I should say. Yep. And then 2, at the end of the day, like it ends up teaching you something, right? Even if it's something small, even if it's something, something big, it teaches you something. I really like this show for that.
Sure, for sure, man. You touched upon a lot of good stuff. I like how you say, I politely disagree with you. Dude, that's funny. You could, tell me you're wrong. Tell me.
No, because I think once again, some people do want that, and if it doesn't hit that mark, for sure, like you can rate it whatever you want, and I get what you're saying though, because there's sometimes I walk into a show and I'm like, okay, it's got to make me cry.
What you're saying is you did not cry at like This Is Us. You did not cry that much. Yeah.
Dude, I've cried on This Is Us like big time, like a baby.
So that crying moment you didn't feel like you needed to do in this episode, correct?
I didn't walk in with no, because this is their writers are like top notch. I mean, I'm not saying I don't think no, but they're top notch at getting you that feeling.
Exactly.
And once again, This Is Us has now 5 seasons to build up on these characters.
I would say if this was done by Pixar, officially done by Pixar, then we will be talking in the game of crying for real.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Pixar
does it
makes
on
you
purpose.
cry like the first 5, not even the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, no, Pixar does it on purpose. I think once again, still they're remembering, and you know what? Maybe we have one episode left, so maybe that tearjerker moment is coming there. Who knows? But either way, I'm rooting for these characters. So if I walk out not being extremely sad, then maybe that's a win, right? So it just all depends.
Exactly. There you go, man. All right, so let's go to ratings real quick. And then, guys, stay with us. We're gonna be talking about spoilers, everybody. Okay, spoilers if you have not seen WandaVision. But let's go to ratings, Lex. So typically we give ratings from 1 to 10, 10 being the highest rating, 1 being the lowest. And then we'll give a whole season review. We'll see what we average here. We'll go back to the videos. Maybe we'll see how we average of the season, and we'll check it out. But yeah, Lex, when you give this rating, man, this episode right here, episode 8.
I'm gonna give this an 8.7.
All right.
Yeah.
Sounds good. I'm gonna give this. I know you're gonna be mad at me. I'm gonna give this a 6.5, man. 6.5. It's good. It's not low, dude. That's not that low.
I forget what's the highest. Yeah. The highest is 8, right? Is that what you said? Highest is 8.
I 9 and a 10, brother. I'm telling you, it's funny though, man. Because
but you've given a 9 on this one.
On this, no, I think I give Star Wars like a 9. One of the Mandalorian episodes was like a 9.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah. But yeah, dude, I mean, let's be honest here. It's just like it's not a bad rating. It's it's above average.
I know, yeah.
But it's funny because like you told me, you're like, oh, I give it a 10. I think episode 2 or 3. No, it was 3. I think 3 or 4.
Have I given?
Yeah, you gave it a 10. You were all like 10.
Oh yeah,
10.
You're right.
And I was all like, Lex, bro, no.
Yeah, I have to look back. It's bad if I forgot if I gave a 10, but I think,
it's bad. See, that's why I don't throw 10 out there. When I throw a 10, it's like that's how I know.
That episode was a banger, though. I think it was the episode where Vision like got mad at Wanda and some shit, and it got real tense.
Yeah. There you go. So
but no, 8.7 for me, because I'll talk about the spoiler things, I'll mention something, but yeah, the show is not giving me some things that I really wanted, so that's why I'm like but at the same time, and in turn, it's putting things that I'm really still super engaged with. So this episode was 8.7. I expected a little bit of action by this point in time, but once again, I like what they gave me instead. It's just once again, as fans, you sometimes have expectations of how something's going to go. I mean, on this show, like ourselves and the guests, like we've all had speculations and all have an expectation of what's to come, and on the things that we're not hitting the mark on, it's just our expectations kind of like passing reality, right? So it is what it is.
And guys, don't let us discourage you or anything like that. Anyone that's watching out there, if you really loved WandaVision, you're all like, these guys sound, what the heck?
Well, Ryan, I'm not saying anything bad.
No, I know. They're all like, Ryan, what the why are you giving it such a low rating? I was like, bro, that's just my personal point of opinion, because I know everyone hates on me. 6.5. 6.5. Yeah, hey, if you think it's a 9 and a 10, brother, put it on the comments down below. Lady, put it on the comments down below. Brother, sister, put it on the comments down below. Whatever your thoughts may be, because let's be honest here, it's all work of art, and we all have our own point of opinion. And I love it when people just argue with me back. I mean, it's not arguing, but it's just like, prove me wrong,
discuss,
and I love that. On a side note, I know we were talking about the Golden Globes earlier, me on off camera, me and Lex, me and you were, and I just want to recognize as well is that congratulations to Chadwick Boseman, who was honored with the Best Actor award at the Golden Globes. Nice. So he did win for Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. He did win for that. Yeah,
I think he was also. I could be wrong, but no, wait. Golden Globes is show strictly, right?
It's films too, but no, he was just nominated for that. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Because I think people were also praising his performance on the Five Bloods, but
the Five Bloods. Yeah.
I think the film you're talking about, I think that's the one that people were saying like that's.
I didn't get enough screen time with him in the Five Bloods. It was real minimum.
Really, I haven't seen either, so I have to watch.
Oh, okay, yeah, like Ma Rainey's Black Bottoms actually. Ma Rainey, it's actually it's him. It's really him and oh my god, I forgot the other actress's name. I'm just gonna get mad at me. But the other lead, of course, which is Ma Rainey. It's actually I would say both of them get an equal amount of screen time, and it's one of those films to where like it's equal amount of screen time, and we saw and well, you didn't see the Five Bloods, but the Five Bloods really he's probably in the movie. The movie's probably about a little over 2 hours. He's in the movie for probably about like 30 minutes throughout the movie. 30, 45 minutes throughout the movie added up. That's adding the whole clips of him because it goes back and forth, past and present. So, yeah. So, I mean, for him to win this role in here, I really did. And me and Angela really did love that movie. That was a really good performance to see him in. And yeah, because that was his last role. May he rest in peace, Wakanda forever. But yeah, just such a loss into the community, into the world. Such a treasured soul there that we lost in our world today. And of course I loved him in Jackie Robinson in 42. God, he was wow, dude. And then Get On Up, he was just dude, Get On. Have you seen Get On Up?
I think
he plays the Godfather.
So I never finished it, but I'm trying to remember why I never finished it. I think it was playing in the background. So I got to see maybe like 40 minutes of it out of order. I don't even know when I started watching. But I forget where I was, but I had to leave and I didn't get to finish it. But I think it's on Netflix, I think. I have to double check.
I think, it's either on Netflix or HBO Max. I think it was on HBO Max at one point, but if you have not seen Get On Up, I recommend as far as Chadwick Boseman movies, I do recommend that. But going back to the topic now, WandaVision. Let's talk about spoilers, man. Spoilers. Let's talk about this. So we saw Agatha's backstory here. We saw another thing too. Skipping ahead, I guess we talked about Agatha's backstory right there. The magic right there. So we didn't see really any of Mephisto there. Nothing. So do we still believe Mephisto's a part of this?
I've given up, to be honest. No. So remember last episode I said if there is no hint of Mephisto, next episode, I'm done. I'm done waiting for it. But here's the thing, though. This was a big takeaway. I think midway through the episode, I was like, you know what? Like, I'm bummed because I was really rooting for that. I was really waiting for like a big thing. But I was like, the more we saw of Agatha, because this is like, we saw the Agatha reveal last episode with her song and everything. Like, it was a banger. But this is the first full episode where we saw her acting like her true character, right? I like her. I mean, I've liked her work throughout the whole show, right? Regardless, her character. But I really now I'm really digging her as a villain, like as a standalone villain. I still think there's like because she was talking in this episode about how Quicksilver or fake Pietro is not like, it's a different person, but she said it was just my eyes and ears. So like, but they still haven't explained him as a whole,
as a multiverse kind of deal.
They haven't explained really like what his role is or who he really is or whatever. Anyway, so I still think there's story there, but I just don't think there's Mephisto involved. There may be like a name drop of like, hey, higher powers that being, but it really does seem like she's working on her own. And now I'm buying it. Before I couldn't buy it, but now that I see her acting as a villain, as a standalone villain, I'm buying it. I really like her, and I am actually okay if it's only her. And then, of course, we have like the whole sword situation. So I'm okay with those two camps. But yeah, at this point in the story where we're at, I just don't think there's a bigger planet being, because at this point I would be mad. I would be mad if Agatha was just like a puppet or something. Just because of how good she's doing and how she's delivering. And in this episode, we saw her being, we'll talk a little bit more about the journey that Wanda went through, but as Agatha was navigating her through this, she just had that pizzazz, like that. she was evil when she needed to, funny when she needed to, but then also like, hey, I got your kids, so don't fuck with me. Like, I really like that. So,
Dude, that's a great. Thank you for taking the words out of my mouth. Thank you.
yeah. So I mean, I just
yeah,
really like, and I think that's once again,
yeah.
I've given up on Memphis. I don't want to be disappointed coming the season finale. So I've given up on that.
Yeah. We speaking of that, Agatha, we actually saw her even acknowledge the accent. I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah,
The accent. I was all like, oh, the accent just comes and goes, or like
yeah.
I was like, damn. I was like,
And
dude, that was awesome.
I can't even tell anymore. But then I think back,
Yeah.
is like, oh yeah,
Well,
it
so
did come back.
whenever she gets intense in her powers, that's when her accent comes out. I was like, oh man, I was like, dude, because I mean, it comes out every now and then, or really when her emotions get the best of her, where emotions really take strive on her powers. That's when we see her Russian accent come out in here, and we see that no Russian. I'm sorry, is it
Sokovia?
Sokovia. Sorry,
yeah,
I'm sorry, Russian.
Well,
yeah.
And I think what was I going to say? Like that it was brief introduction to Agatha, right? Like it still just tells us like she's an ancient being, right? So she has a lot of experience. She's a witch. She definitely tapped into some power that she shouldn't have, and of course she had her covenant covenant that felt that she betrayed them, and it was her own mother who was the lead, it seems. And I like that scene where she was being, she acted like like I didn't do it, like you're making a mistake, and then she kind of owns it. Yeah, that was one. It's again, it's the little. I think that was the beginning of like me being like, okay, I'm in. Like I'm okay if she's the only villain. Because I really like that switch up, and then at the same time, like she's being like I don't know, but the powers that they're using against her, and then she then uses her own power to kind of hook them on and drain them from their life or whatever. Like that was pretty cool. Once again, we're just seeing that she's like a boss, like she knows what she's doing. But at the same time, we then go into like now understanding a little bit more about the why. Like why is she after Wanda? And she has that reveal of like, I'm just interested to know how you did this. So we got confirmation that it was Wanda who, which we had that, right? Like we thought like, at one point I did think maybe Agatha was the one doing the mind control, but no, it turns out it was all Wanda. And I knew that she created the hex, but we just didn't know how and what. So like,
see, and that was, I don't want to say that was because that's not poor writing or anything. It's just I felt like she it was her conscience really like that really created that. I felt like we got, because I wanted to get more deeper in there. Again, we talked about it before we went to spoilers here, is that I wanted to hit that nerve of just grief and of just depression. I just wanted to hit that drama extent into, because I mean, let's be honest here, Elizabeth Olsen could knock that out of the park. She really can. And I felt like she was going there, and then that's whenever the hex came to be. And we saw that. I mean, we even at that yelling scene, I mean, even when she's mourning the death of a Vision. But another thing too that we did get let about, without skipping ahead, going to Wanda, we actually saw exactly where, I love how we saw that scene of her as a kid when her parents died. That scene was really really good. It was done very, very well. And did you also see like when her dad was hiding like Nike shoes in the walls, and like, did you see that?
I didn't see that. No.
Yeah, like whenever he goes and grabs the
DVD,
the treasure, the
VHS.
Yeah, the VHS. Oh no, it was a DVD. I think it was a DVD. Because remember, he put the disc in. Yeah, he put the disc in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then also we got, it's funny, we were right on a lot of those points of the VHSs. We were right on them, on a lot of them.
Yeah, we had said, so at first I thought maybe it was going to be something that she's watched at the Hydra place, but I really like that it goes back to her childhood. And one thing that was really touching for me is that, they address that watching those sitcoms and playing those tapes or DVDs was a way for them to practice their English. And as someone who did that, right? Like English is my second language, it's not my first language. I would do that. Like my parents had DVDs, movies, and things like that for me to watch in English. that would help me, learn it or practice it and things like that. Like we would always put on the subtitles and stuff. But yeah, like it was really touching just because as an immigrant or even just anyone trying to learn English, a lot of it goes back to that form of entertainment. And so that was really touching. It threw me back. But at the same time, they showed all the tapes of that inspired the entrances. I really like that. That in particular touched me a lot. It was a family moment for them. It was a precious moment. And then it's all taken away once again by the tragedy where, there was war. There was war in their country. Yeah. And we see the Stark Industries missile, which has been mentioned before. And I think they showed somewhat of that scene, but they never really showed it in full like they did here. And I really love, probably it was subtle, but the biggest reveal is that she was a witch all along. So she had powers since back then. And that's where Agatha was trying to tap into. Once again, Agatha made it known throughout the whole episode, hey, to create this hex and to do the mind control, that's like 10 different things cast at the same time.
Exactly. And she wanted
I don't know how to do that.
She wanted to tap in on that power. She was just like, there's something more than this. There's something way more than this. And we skim ahead and we see her interaction with the Mind Stone. Yeah. And okay, so you saw her. Obviously, that's I feel like that's her future. I know it's not the Time Stone, but I feel like that's her future self. Like the person she saw right in front of her whenever she touched the Mind Stone, or whenever the Mind Stone really interacted with her. I feel like that's like her future costume. I feel like we're gonna get a costume change. I feel like in the next episode, we might, or even in Doctor Strange, we might get a new costume. I feel like it's gonna be the kind of like the old class. I mean, not necessarily like the one modern, it's a modern. And I feel like
I would really love that.
And I feel, and also we heard her say Scarlet Witch, which no one had, which tells me that she hasn't reached that potential of Scarlet Witch until now.
Well, it seems like Scarlet Witch is something that gets passed down almost like a legend. Like perhaps once every 1,000 years or whatever. So I do think it might be like a future version of herself, but I also accept the fact if it's a mystical myth, right? It could just be the essence of the Scarlet Witch being passed on through the Mind Stone, amplifying her powers. But yeah, so right off the bat, once again, we're explained that Wanda has had her powers for the whole time being a witch, but then it was amplified by the Mind Stone, of course. I don't know if they're going to explain Pietro then, because I don't know if Pietro had powers before, or he also he explicitly was a creation of the Mind Stone. We don't know yet. I don't even know if they're going to touch up on that, to be honest. But I once again, I really like that reveal. It means more than what some people may think of, right? Because once again, I know they're playing into magic and stuff, and I know, for example, the magic scene in Doctor Strange, they're not mutants or anything. They had to learn it and tap into that power. So, but I still once again like that Wanda, not having that sort of training, has this raw power behind her, and once again, they explained towards the end, as Agnes was saying, okay, now I know what you are. You have access to chaos magic, and unlike what you see from Doctor Strange or Agatha, chaos magic is actually able to create things out of nothing, and that's why they explained on how she created Vision. We have that other review, right?
Yes. So let's talk about that real quick. Yeah, we saw her going into the sword place, to the sword facility, and we see that they're not actually making Vision to a weapon, which I'm kind of surprised.
Well, they were, but
okay. So as far as we know, they're not making Vision into a weapon.
But she also didn't come in there and steal him, right?
Exactly. So this is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that actually the director actually changed the footage to where it makes her the villain, so that way everyone could go after her. I feel like you know what? I'm just gonna change it to alter that footage and to make it seem like, oh, she's really the bad guy. She's the bad guy the whole effing time. And we see that here. We're just wait, she didn't even take it. like being at me.
She walked away.
Yeah, she walked away. She
was in pain.
mourning. Yeah, she was in pain. And we saw this too, though. We saw this as well. Is that like I was all and I know we threw that theory out was that that she really took the body and she brought back Vision. But now to know the very end of this episode, we saw her actually bring Vision from the Mind Stone, it looks like, or from because it looks like a part of the Mind Stone.
It was her own power. But it looks like the aura.
So it looks like the Mind Stone is like part of it's almost to a sense to where like the Mind Stone put part of it inside Wanda. And then we saw
that's what I was saying. I was saying her power came. Well, originally I was saying her power came from the Mind Stone, so she could probably tap that. And technically that was true. Aside from her also being a witch, which I think once again that combination of the two is what's giving her this chaos magic. But
and she even Agatha mentioned it too. She's like, "Oh, Infinity Stone, you crossed yourself." And we saw that too. So.
And I think this is what I had said last episode. I was like, based on the Wanda that we've seen, it seems like it's a character that has grown. So I didn't believe that she stepped in there. Like the only way that footage would have convinced me is if she saw that they were weaponizing him and she's like, fuck this. No, I'm not dealing with that. But then once again, the other rumor was like, I don't know, like it doesn't add up. Like it seems, and I like that because it shows once again that depth to Wanda where, she broke the glass and stuff, but anyone would do that. But she walked away there peacefully in grief. And that just shows like she's grown as a character, and she's not this unstable person that
making
the
out
government, the government has tried to make her.
Swords making out to be. I mean, and also I want to touch up on that too. The town, in the very first few episodes we saw that they're trapped, but I feel like maybe I know it's against their free will, but I kind of feel like she helped the town. In a weird sense, to where like the town was dying. I mean, we saw how it was. Like it was just there was no money. The pool, like it's just everything was just like beat up.
Well, it looked like a very gray like town, like just
but it looked like the economy wasn't there, and it looked like she changed
I'm not sure these guys are walking out with a paycheck though. I don't know.
I know, but it's just in
I
a
get
weird
what you're
sense.
saying, though.
In a weird sense, it's just like she created this world because she was just like, obviously it was an accident, but because let's be honest here, it was an accident. I felt like because
it was very unintentional. Her grief made her tap into the memories of what she knew was happy moments.
Yeah, and Vision. So Vision did. It looks like Vision did buy that house for them, right? Or like.
Yeah. So at first, after she storms out of Sword facility, she then starts driving, and she's going to Westview, New Jersey. And the part that was also touching for me was that she's looking at this outline for this house and address. And there's a heart on it. It says "We'll grow old together," or like a place to grow old together. And that was touching. And I didn't see it at first, but in the post version of that, it does show Vision's initials. So like he got this lot for them to build a house, live together. Had the events out of Infinity War not played out. That was going to be their next step, and that ties back to the comic books because the comic books Westview is mentioned, and actually I don't think it's Westview, but New Jersey is a place where Vision and Wanda go to live together and have kids and stuff. So like it all still ties back, but like you said, Westview was like a very bland town, but you see all the characters that have been part of the illusion and stuff. And once again, the reasoning behind the sitcom format is just, once again, that's the definition of what Wanda saw as a happy place.
As a kid.
The show even has the episode has a specific line that she talks about, in a sitcom, there's always a problem, but it works out at the end. So that's why she was visualizing that. And I think that was really powerful. And I think we skipped over it, but there was an additional flashback sequence of just her and Vision while they were, I think it was during the time of Winter Soldier where,
I thought it was after Age of,
it's after Age of
Ultron,
the facility that is shown on Winter Soldier. So when Hawkeye gets Black Widow out of that because she's being guarded by Vision, that was the facility that they were on, and Vision.
Oh, you mean Scarlet Witch? Get Scarlet Witch on that. Yeah.
And yeah. So long story short, it's just an interaction between them. I think it's
when she was watching Malcolm in the Middle. I remember that. Yeah,
and it was before
awesome.
their time. It was before their relationship. But yeah, they show Malcolm in the Middle, which once again I knew that was clearly what they went with. 2 episodes ago.
And we saw that too. Yeah, I mean,
and
of course that was inevitable.
Well, and it shows us a younger version of Vision, right? Like, because this was shortly after Age of Ultron, and he was still trying to understand these concepts, right? And as an android, I assume he can't understand grief properly, so he starts talking to Wanda and kind of putting things together, and being empathetic, right? And Wanda at that point,
remember he can understand, he can't cook. Remember that?
But Wanda was being cold naturally because her brother had recently died. But I know all the memes have shared it and stuff, but like that line from Vision where he's trying to understand, right, about the same time recap with Wanda, like, hey, well, isn't I think you're thinking of death or something like that as the stop point of love, but isn't grieving love persevering or love continuing, right? And I think that's a really powerful line, and I think a lot of people have been sharing it. That's a moment that touched a lot of people. Once again, not necessarily a tear jerker, but for me, it made me think, right? Like, through the tough times, we lose people, right? And we grieve, but us grieving is ultimately the way to know that the love for that person is still there. And so that was really, really good, like well written in my opinion. And I think it wraps the theme of the show very well.
It does, but again, going back to that scene, it doesn't reach that drama level. I know I'm going to keep mentioning it this episode. It's going to keep mentioning that drama level that I really did not. I wanted to feel, and again, like, it didn't make you cry like This Is Us, Lex. That's the point.
Once again, you don't always go into a show wanting that, but I mean, for me, it was still super sweet. I like the quote.
Most definitely. And I'm not saying this is a bad episode, or by all means, no, it's not. It's a really good episode. It's just I wanted to reach that deep level, and of course, it's a family-orientated film or a family-orientated series, and yeah. But going back to the town real quick, Stephanie Perez says. Let's see here what she said. It says it did not have the perspective of a rundown. It did have. I'm sorry. It did have the perspective of a rundown town. They portrayed unhappy citizens in those scenes.
Yeah, I agree with that.
That's what I'm saying. Is that, like, I feel like.
Now you were talking about the economy, bro, and their paychecks.
Well, no. I was talking about the whole thing, bro.
Wanda gave them that stimmy.
No.
But I get what you're saying. Yeah, I agree.
Look, let me put it this way, Lex. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, sometimes I explain things a little wrong. When I really think it thoroughly. What if that she gave them all a sense of purpose, like? Yeah. I mean, because we saw, Kitty. I know her as Kitty, but we saw Kitty just like sitting there, like, it looked like she was just dying. She wasn't living; she was just dying away, and like go,
it was dull. Yeah. Like, I think the proper word for it was a dull town. Like, there wasn't. Yeah. It doesn't look like the community that has those like community meetings, talent shows, right? So there's a sense of like life was added to the town, based on the fact that it was portrayed under the lens of these sitcoms, right? Where, you get all these moments and these communities. It'd be interesting if there's I would really appreciate from a storytelling perspective. Let's say the hex gets rid of and it all goes back to normal. I would appreciate if these characters from this town keep some of that, energy, keep some of that, community build. I'm pretty sure it's going to be traumatizing that they were under mind control this whole time, but I would really like to see that, just because once again it kind of plays back into sometimes sticking to older customs and not everything. Some older customs are stupid, but older customs, older practices, that older mindset of community and togetherness. Like I would really like for that to kind of play into the finale, right? If we indeed get a full circle resolution. But yeah, no, it was definitely a dull town. You could see people just living like on autopilot mode, right? Like that's kind of what it felt like. And what we know from these characters as actors of a sitcom, there's just a lot more life to this. So I definitely agree with that.
Yeah. Again, though, I'm going back to where I feel like that she gave them purpose, brother. I feel like, that she gave them, again, they're not getting a paycheck at the very end of the day. So I know I mean, they're not getting a paycheck.
But when you, no, I definitely get what you're saying now. Once again, I would be interested to see if they keep some of that spirit, right? I think also like what's funny is that it all goes back to kind of like what fake Pietro was talking to Wanda about. Like I know it was Agnes playing along with it, but when he was saying like, oh, like I really like what you've done with the place because you were actually like you were thoughtful of it. Like you put people in jobs that they were similar like to what they were doing before. You made them happy. You've made them all the stuff like you put the kids to sleep so that the kids wouldn't be traumatized. So like it just, even though it was an accident from one day, we see that it came from grief. Like she still kind of, subconsciously thought of all these things, including bringing that togetherness to the community. And so that was pretty cool.
Yeah. For sure, brother. I mean, I enjoyed all that. Yeah, that was for real. Like I just again though, again, that was the only down thing about this episode, but everything else was good. This was a really great, solid episode. Again, though, I'm heading that finale, the season finale or this is it.
Yeah. The only thing. Yeah. I'm sorry, I was gonna say the only thing
go ahead.
Into the finale, right? Agatha says like Scarlet Witch. The only thing I don't like about Agatha so far is that final costume she was wearing. It looks like the comic book version, which I appreciate, but Catherine Hahn, like she just deserves a more badass outfit.
Yeah,
like,
for real.
Make it. I know she's from 16 something, so like I understand, but that's only last. Like I even like what she was wearing, like just in the flashbacks. Like I know it was more casual. But I don't know. Once they put her in the costume, it was I don't know. Like I feel like they need to give her a modern look to it, and she deserves to have that badass outfit, not like the grandma.
Yeah, and it's a funny note to that, Catherine, is that I didn't even know she was in Bob's Burgers. I did not know that.
Oh, really? Who does she voice?
She voices Jessica.
Who's that? I don't watch the show.
I don't watch the show either. So, I just saw it on the thing. Yeah, on the IMDb. Yeah, on the IMDb. And then
I've seen an episode or two, but I don't know if Jessica's like a recurring character or not.
Oh, and then also a fun fact, guys. Fun fact, comic book fact. Fact. I don't know why she keeps saying fact. Is that Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse? She actually voices Doc Ock on there.
Oh, on the
So, dude, right? That's what I'm saying. So she's no stranger to Marvel, guys. No stranger to Marvel / Sony, whatever you want to call it. Into that, and obviously we're getting Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse 2. Hopefully it comes sooner. But yeah, and then we also, speaking of Spider-Man, we got that Spider-Man movie later this year on Christmas. Boy, yeah.
No way home.
No way home, man. All right. But any final thoughts, Lex, on this episode?
No. Once again, I'm okay with Agatha being the main villain. I've given up on the Mephisto team.
Dude, I know we talked about it. I wanted Mephisto, but it is what it is. They're not going to do that route. And obviously, I don't feel like they're going to do that route at all.
Yeah, if they give us some good fighting sequences with her using her magic and doing some cool shit, like if they give us Agatha doing some like Doctor Strange versus Thanos type of shit, like that would be dope.
that would. Okay, so talking about that whole mythology right there, like, is she really okay? What if she goes against Doctor Strange in a weird freaking theory? Let's say Doctor Strange shows up and he tries to go against her. Like, come on, he's a Sorceress Supreme though. He should kick her butt, right?
Probably. I don't know, because like they give us
maybe you don't know.
So here's the thing. No, I think Doctor Strange is OP as hell. But okay, so two things. The first thing is they showed us that Agatha clearly tapped into some darker stuff. That is, it overpowers normal magic. So, and they showed us that's why her aura was purple instead of blue, like the rest of her witch friends. So that makes me think she definitely is levels up, right? I just don't know where to put her along with a sorcerer supreme, because their magic style seems different as well, right? Because there's sorcery and the magic, it's basically the same thing, but it's not. The Doctor Strange approach, I feel, is more refined, right? So I think he has more up his sleeve. But then you got to think, like, Agatha is from 1600s or 1695 or something. You got to think of the age difference in comparison to Doctor Strange, who's been the Sorcerer Supreme since I don't know how the snap affects the timeline, but let's say 8 years or 6 years. Right? Like, you just got to think of that difference. So I don't know. But at the same time, my second point is just that, like I've said before, I would love a Doctor Strange cameo. I really like his character. I really enjoyed his movie.
That would
I don't want him
to a 9 or 10.
But I don't want him to be the one to, like, fight Agatha, though. Like,
totally agree there. Since we're
maybe
talking
he comes in at the end and he just says, like, I'll teach you. I'll teach you something.
Yeah, something. Let's go here. Gabe Rodriguez. What's up, Gabe? What's going on, brother? It's going to be an epic battle between those two witches. Most definitely, man. I see. And that's another thing, too, I was going to mention. We could have that theory, right, of Doctor Strange coming in, but I don't want that. It'll be bad.
You don't want him to show up at all?
No, I want him to show up at the end.
Oh, at the
like
end.
When the fighting's nearly done. Like, whenever she, or if she kills Agatha, whatever the case may be, or traps her, whatever. I feel like that she needs to come at the very end and be like, all right, now I'm taking you under my wing, and then that's it. We're done, and then we won't see her until Doctor Strange. I want that. I really do. I want that, and I want to see them, beat each other up, man. Just slap each other around, pull hair. I mean, who doesn't like a good cat fight? I mean, dude, bro, I watch reality TV and I love the cat fights. Oh man, they're hilarious.
Nah, and they're not gonna do that.
I know. Yeah. Oh, right. No, they're not. You're actually, but in honest opinion, though, it's gonna be more magic, of course. I just feel like this is really gonna shape the whole, the whole. Just of what we're going to think of Elizabeth Olsen in general, just because she's becoming that coming of age actress, and even seeing her in previous films, but I just, again, though, I really want her to really, this is the last time we're going to see her since Doctor Strange. Yeah. So we need to see her, and we need to actually see her on a high note in the last,
for sure. This last episode, we saw nothing of Monica Rambeau in this episode, right? So even that, bring it,
and then we didn't see Pedro. We didn't see Pedro either, so we didn't know what happened between Pedro and Monica. So, and again, too, I feel like we're gonna see a girl fight, because it's gonna be Monica coming in, and it's gonna be a good fight. I'm excited.
I mean, and Vision's like, okay, so we have a lot going on. Like, it's just,
and then is Vision really real then? Because because the end credit scene, I forgot about that. Thank you for mentioning that. So now we got Sword Vision versus Sword Vision versus Wanda's Vision. It's just like it's just this crazy, man.
I don't know. Based on the comics, I think that it can play out, but I'm not gonna say it just in case that people don't know.
No, you could say it real quick.
Okay, well, in the White Vision is in the comic books, and it's the same thing. Like, he has no recollection of Wanda. He doesn't know her or anything like that. And actually, they get a divorce in the comic books because this dude has no real attachment to her. But he ends up being in the Avengers. He's still heroic. He's not necessarily bad. I don't think that's what's going on here. But eventually he comes to his senses, right? And they go to a different Earth, not different dimension, but different Earth. And there's a Vision there. And so I don't know. I haven't read part of the comics. I just know this story. And eventually what happens is that the White Vision uploads the vision from the other Earth into himself, and so he even gets his colors back, right? So he's not white anymore. Dang. And I think the other visions, like, he shared also like a life with Wanda, so those feelings kind of came back through the upload of that. So we have two visions here from the same Earth, but different creations. So perhaps there's like some sort of a
And
region in there.
this one does look like it's vibranium, of course, and that's not.
Well, it's always been, but this one looks like just like pure. Just life.
It looks like parts. I don't know. I kind of feel like it might be like some parts might be vibranium and the otother parts might be just they're made up.
It's possible.
We'll get further into detail obviously in the next episode. But here I put the video. I put the pic. Oh, let me see.
Yeah, the picture.
Yeah, the picture. Yeah,
is that a concept?
No, yeah. So this is actually a fan art. Someone made it on a fan art, and this is, you can't see the top part, but this is the real. This is the Wandavision. Yeah. Wanda's vision, and then this is Swords. I'm not good at this at all. This is so up, like scoot you up, put up. There you go. Right there. Right. Oh, okay. Yeah, and that's Swords vision. But yeah, so I'm excited to see, man. We got a lot going on in this episode. This episode needs to be this episode needs to be over an hour. Like, it needs to be the same runtime of our podcast. That's how long this episode needs to be. Guaranteed, brother. Yeah. Guaranteed. But all right, guys. We'll see, man. Thank you guys for sticking with us for so long. I know that attention spans really it really is 30 seconds thanks to TikTok and everything, but but thank y'all so much, everybody, for watching us, for keeping tabs on us, for putting on the comments down below, giving us your thoughts, because we really do appreciate it, guys. And we got more contests coming out this week, or I'm sorry, this year, not this week. I got a few contests that I'm going to be running with very soon. I know because of COVID, everything really messed everything up, and we got contests coming very soon, guys. So stick with us. Like the page on Facebook. Share our video whenever you get a chance, guys. Share our podcast whenever we're live and all that good stuff. And yeah, I promise you guys we're gonna have a really good contest coming up this year. And then so stay tuned. We got more. If you have not already, flip over to Facebook and flip over to YouTube and subscribe to our YouTube channel on Alamo City Movie Talk, guys. Well, thank you for making us a part of your day. As always, I'm your host, Ryan D. You can call Ryan 680.
And this is Lex. We'll see you guys on the finale.
Yeah, man. Lex, where can people find you at, brother?
You guys can head over to the Not in Theaters podcast, available everywhere. And if you are into gaming content, you can also head over to the Lex Level over on Twitch.
Yeah, and I sometimes comment on the commentary there.
Yeah,
yeah. Maybe on commentary it'll be like, but it'll be X-rated. Sorry, guys, it'll be X-rated.
Yeah, I have it rated for mature, because sometimes I say the F word.
Don't we all, brother? All right, guys, have a wonderful week, everybody. Stay safe, and we got a small little cold front coming to San Antonio tonight, so stay safe, stay warm. Yeah. It's funny thing. I guess not to deal with any movie talk or anything, but today was a little over 70. It was really humid today, guys, and we're dropping 30 degrees tomorrow, man. It's gonna be it's gonna be like in the late 40s. So yeah, we're dropping 30 degrees, man, overnight, just like that. San Antonio, baby.
It happens.
Yeah, it happens, man. But yeah, guys, once again, stay safe, everybody. And Lex, thank you for being on this episode with me, brother.
Absolutely, man.
And stay tuned, guys. We try to do this Fridays, so Friday nights around 9:00, but some things happen, so that's why we switched over to Sunday. But Friday night we're planning on doing the finale, and me and Lex, I'm actually going to coordinate with Lex, and we'll talk about doing a reaction video, but that'll be on the YouTube channel because Facebook blocks it. But yeah. All right, have a good one, guys. Check y'all later.
Bye, guys.